She's not loud. She's not desperate. She's not trying to be chosen. And yet, everything finds its way to her. Opportunities, respect, attention, love, success. Not because she chases it, but because she has mastered the art of self-possession. This is that girl, the one who attracts without asking, the one who doesn't beg for validation, the one whose presence feels calm, dark, and powerful. This isn't about manipulation. This isn't about aesthetics. This is about becoming so grounded in who you are that the world adjusts around you. If you've ever wanted to embody dark feminine energy, confidence that doesn't crack, and a life that flows toward you, this guide is for you. She is rooted in self-knowledge. That girl knows herself. Not the surface version, but the real one. She understands her strengths, her weaknesses, her triggers, and her desires. This self-awareness is what makes her unshakable. She doesn't pretend to be perfect. She's honest with herself. She reflects. She evolves. Ways to build this: daily journaling without filters, asking yourself hard questions, taking accountability instead of making excuses. When you know yourself deeply, no one else gets to define you. 2. Her confidence is quiet, not performative. She doesn't need to announce her worth. Her confidence shows in the way she walks into a room, the way she listens more than she speaks, the way she doesn't rush to prove herself. Dark feminine confidence is felt, not displayed. She understands the strongest people don't need to convince anyone of their power. Practice this by letting pauses exist in conversations, speaking only when you mean it, being comfortable with silence. Silence isn't awkward when you're secure, it's powerful. 3. She is the source of her own validation. That girl doesn't wait to be chosen. She chooses herself, daily. She doesn't depend on compliments, attention, or external approval. She knows her value remains the same whether she's praised or ignored. Build this energy by doing things that make you proud privately, celebrating your progress in silence, detaching your emotions from other people's reactions. The moment validation becomes optional, attraction becomes inevitable. 4. Emotional discipline is her edge. She feels deeply, but she doesn't lose control. Dark feminine energy is emotionally intelligent. She knows when to feel, when to pause, and when to walk away. She doesn't argue out of ego. She doesn't react impulsively. She doesn't beg for understanding. Instead, she responds with intention. She understands control over your emotions is control over your life. When something triggers her, she steps back, observes, and protects her peace. 5. Mystery is her natural state. She doesn't overshare. Not everyone deserves access to her thoughts, plans, or vulnerabilities. Dark feminine energy thrives in selective openness. She keeps her goals private, lets people earn deeper access, allows others to be curious. Mystery creates intrigue. Boundaries create respect. You don't need to explain yourself to be understood by the right people. 6. She invests in her mind, body, and spirit. That girl is always upgrading, quietly. She invests in education and knowledge, physical health and movement, mental clarity and inner peace. She understands that her body is her home, her mind is her weapon, and her spirit is her foundation. Instead of wasting time, she reads instead of scrolling endlessly, moves her body even when it's uncomfortable, journals to clear her thoughts. Her glow doesn't come from aesthetics, it comes from alignment. 7. Discipline is her highest form of self-love. She doesn't wait for motivation. She moves even when it's hard, boring, or uncomfortable. Discipline gives her confidence because she knows she can trust herself. She keeps promises to herself. She shows up consistently. She builds habits that support her future. Discipline creates stability. Stability creates power. 8. She is comfortable walking alone. She doesn't fear solitude. She doesn't stay where she's not valued just to avoid being alone. She understands that loneliness in bad company is worse than solitude in peace. In her alone time, she reflects, visualizes her future, reconnects with herself. Solitude sharpens her intuition and strengthens her standards. 9. Her energy is selective. She doesn't argue with people who misunderstand her. She doesn't chase people who don't choose her. She doesn't drain herself explaining her worth. Her energy is her currency, and she spends it wisely. She walks away with no guilt. She chooses peace over chaos. She protects her inner world fiercely. 10. She trusts the flow of life. That girl understands something powerful. What's meant for her will never require force. She doesn't rush timelines. She doesn't panic when things fall apart. She trusts redirection because she knows that everything aligning slowly is still aligning. Final message. Being that girl isn't about looking powerful. It's about being grounded. It's about self-respect. It's about emotional mastery. It's about discipline and softness coexisting. When you stop chasing, when you stop proving, when you stop seeking permission, you become magnetic. And the world can't help but respond to a woman who knows who she is and refuses to abandon herself.